For problem number 51, I use PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. So the first step is to combine 3 plus 4 in the parentheses, which equals 7. Then after adding to 7, then do 7 to the second power, 7 squared is 49. The answer is choice E, 49. Question 52. To compute the square root of 49 minus the square root of 24, note that the square root of 49 is 7, but the square root of 24 is a number between 4 and 5. Since the square root of 24 is very close to 25, it's a little less than 5. So here I've written that the square root of 24 is approximately 4.9. Then the square root of 49 minus the square root of 24 is close to 7 minus 4.9, which is 2.1. The only answer that's a match is G, between 2 and 5. Question 53. 200% of 7 is mathematically equivalent to the whole number 2. Of is times, and 7 is 7. So the problem is 2 times 7, which equals 14. The answer is C, 14. Question 54. To find the perimeter of this irregular shape, notice that since all lines are either horizontal or vertical, we can take the segments highlighted in red and blue and complete a rectangle. If I take the red segment that's vertical and move it to the left to complete the left wall of the rectangle, and then take the blue segment and lift it up to complete the top wall of the rectangle, the problem then becomes find the perimeter of a rectangle with a length of 3 and a width of 4 units. The perimeter of such a rectangle would be 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4, which is answer K, 14. Question 55. This complex fraction problem is made much easier by using the least common denominator. I noticed that for the fractions 1/5 and 1/6, the LCD is 30. So I multiplied the first fraction by 6 over 6, and the second fraction by 5 over 5, to rewrite the left side as equivalent fractions 6 over 30 minus 5 over 30, which still equals 1 over n. Then the left side reduces to 1 over 30, and the right side is 1 over n. And be careful, because the last step is that the denominators are the same. Therefore, n equals 30. The correct answer is choice B. Question 56. Use PEMDAS. The first term, 2 to the 4th minus 4 squared, simplifies to 16 minus 16, which is 0. And the second term to be added simplifies to 8 minus 9, which is negative 1. So the problem reduces to 0 plus minus 1, which is minus 1. The correct answer is H, minus 1. Question 57. For this line segment problem, first focus on the interval between P and R, which is 10 units, because P equals negative 8, and R is located at positive 2. The midpoint is Q. Q is half of 10 units, or 5 units, from P and 5 units from R. So Q lies at the location negative 3. And the second line drawing, I drew Q in the proper location at the midpoint. Then the question is posed, can you find the midpoint of QS? Since Q is at -3 and S is at +5, we have 8 units in between Q and S. The midpoint of segment QS is -3 plus 5 divided by 2, or 2 over 2, which is 1. So the location of the midpoint of QS is at 1. The correct answer is D, 1. Question 58. For this question, we are told that there are 45 girls who attended the dance. Since the ratio of boys to girls is 2 to 3, we can make a ratio chart. 3 times 15 would give us 45 girls at the dance. So we have to take the 2 in the ratio for boys, multiply that as well by 15, and we solve that 30 boys attended the dance. Therefore, the correct answer is J. 30 boys attended the dance. Question 59. There are 2 variables that we need to solve for, the sum of x and y. Since we're given that the top angle is 40 degrees, note that first I focus on the triangle rule. It's a fact that 40 plus angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees, because the sum of any 3 angles in a triangle always equals 180 degrees. By subtracting 40 from both sides, I know that the 2 other angles, angle 1 and angle 2 in the picture, equal 140 degrees. Next, I use the straight line rule. The lower left angle is composed of a straight line. X plus angle 1 equals 180 degrees, and also the right base angle, angle 2 plus y, equals 180 degrees. Well, that's 360 degrees total, because it's 2 uses of the straight line rule. So since x plus angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle y equals 360 degrees, and I already know that those angles 1 and 2 equal 140, I can write x plus 140 plus y equals 360 degrees. Therefore, angles x plus angle y equals 220 degrees. The correct answer is D, 220 degrees. Question 60. Since the sum of 6x and 4y is then divided by 2, I write down the fraction 6x plus 4y over 2, which equals 3x plus 2y. Therefore, the correct answer is H, 3x plus 2y. Question 61. For the special symbols of function rule, a star b equals the exponent base a to the power b. To evaluate 2 star parentheses 3 star 2 close parentheses, use PEMDAS. First solve for 3 star 2, which will be 3 to the 2nd power. Well, 3 times 3 is 9. Then for the next step, 2 star 9 will be 2 to the 9th power, which is 512. The correct answer is A, 512. Question 62. Considering the integers between 9 and 38 inclusive, n divided by 5 must also be an integer. So therefore, our only candidates to consider are the set of numbers 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35 for n within that integer interval. When we divide each of those numbers in that set by 5, we get the values 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for n over 5. Of those numbers, 4 are prime, circled here as 2, 3, 5, and 7. Therefore, there are 4 primes for n over 5. The correct answer is G, 4. Question 63. For an absolute value equation, evaluate inside the bars term by term as you would with PEMDAS. For the first absolute value term, 2 minus 8 equals negative 6. The absolute value of negative 6 is 6. For the second term, 7 minus 3 is 4. The absolute value of 4 is 4. Therefore, the problem reduces to 6 minus 4 equals 2. Therefore, the correct answer is C, 2. Question 64. M equals Mary's age. Joe's age is Mary's age minus 3. In 10 years, Joe will be 10 years older, and we can write that as J plus 10. So we'd also add 10 years to the other side of the equation, M minus 3 plus 10. Therefore, J plus 10 equals M plus 7. The correct answer is H, M plus 7. Question 65. At 10 o'clock, the big hand is on 12, and the little hand is on the 10th hour. Looking at the clock face, since a circle is 360 degrees, and there are 12 hours on the clock face, 360 divided by 12 equals 30 degrees per hour of time. 30 times 2 equals the 60-degree angle between the hands. Therefore, the correct answer for the smaller angle is D, 60 degrees. Question 66. To find the LCM of 21 and 77, you can use factor trees. 21 equals 3 times 7. 77 equals 7 times 11. Therefore, to create the LCM, first start with 3 times 7, or 21, and then add any additional factors that come from 77. Since 7 is already represented, the only prime we need to add is 11. Therefore, the LCM is 3 times 7 times 11, which equals 231. The correct answer is J, 231. Question 67. For the steepest, most rapid growth, we look at the slope. On the line graph, a slow growth would be a line that is almost horizontal. A moderate growth would be steeper or rising quicker to the right, and rapid growth would be the most steep line. Looking at the month intervals, the most rapid growth for this company was A, between March and April. Question 68. We can use the expanded form of each of the numbers written in scientific notation to make this problem easier. 1.2 times 10 to the second power equals 120. 1.2 times 10 to the third power equals 1200. When added, 120 plus 1200 equals 1320. Then we can pack back up into scientific notation by moving the decimal 3 places, and we get 1.32 times 10 to the third power. The correct answer is G, 1.32 times 10 to the third power. Question 69. Since there are 7 days in the week, and we start on a Saturday and want to know the day 65 days later, we can use what's called a remainder wheel. Here I've drawn one. Starting on Saturday as day 0, we go around clockwise. Each of the following days will be 1 day later. So Sunday would be day 1, Monday day 2, Tuesday day 3, Wednesday day 4, Thursday day 5, Friday day 6, and then Saturday would be our day 7. To make this problem easier, I wrote out the times table for 7. And once we reach the 63rd day, we'll be back on a Saturday again. So starting at 63, day 64 would be Sunday, and day 65 would be Monday. The correct answer, therefore, is B, Monday. Question 70. In the diagram, we're told that the area of each circle is 16 pi. Since pi r squared is the formula for the area of a circle, we do know that pi r squared equals 16 pi. Therefore, dividing by pi, r squared equals 16, and square rooting both sides, the radius of each circle is 4. In the second drawing, I drew in some horizontal and vertical lines, which show the radius from the center of the circle in the 4 cardinal directions. Therefore, the height of this rectangle will be 2 radiuses, or 8, and the base of the rectangle will be 4 radiuses across, or 4 times 4 is 16. Therefore, the area, the base times height, will be 16 times 8, or 128. The correct answer is J, 128. Question 71. Since 30 out of 50 students got a 90 or better on the test, we know that 50 minus those 30, or 20 students, received a grade lower than a 90. Taking those students into consideration, 20 out of the 50 total equals 40 over 100, or 40% of the class. The correct answer is C, 40%. Question 72. To consider the numbers between -3 and 4 inclusive means to include those n values. Writing out a number line for n from -3 up to 4, the values for n squared corresponding would be 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, 9, and 16. The range of those values is the least value up to the greatest value. Here, the least number in the set is 0, and the greatest value is 16. Therefore, the correct answer is K. 0 is less than or equal to n squared, which is less than or equal to 16. Question 73. Since A equals 3 times C, and B is 8 less than C, we can write down the two equations on the page above. Notice that since we want A equals B, we can substitute in 3C on the left for A, and C minus 8 on the right for B. Subtracting C from both sides, we know that 2C equals -8, and then dividing by 2, C equals -4. To check that this is the true value for C, note that when we plug in -4, A equals 3 times -4, which is -12, and B equals -4 minus 8, which is also -12. So we found the value where A equals B. Therefore, the correct answer is A, -4. Question 74. It's good to use a Venn diagram for sets. Noting that the set of all students who like math is 17 students, the set of all students who like English was 19 students, and the total number of students was 28. We can let X represent the both area, where a student likes both math and English. Therefore, the area on the left, the remainder of that math ring, would be the total 17 minus those X students. Similarly, considering only the English students, well, X is the both area, so the other area is the total 19 minus those X students. If we add up all three of those regions, we should get 28. Therefore, 17 minus X plus 19 minus X equals 28. 17 plus 19 is 36, and we have a negative X when we combine the X terms equals 28. Therefore, X is 8. The correct answer is G. 8 students like both math and English. Question 75. The expanded form of each exponent is written as a row for x equals 333555777, and y equals 222355. Well, what primes do they have in common? They have 1 3 in common and 2 5s in common. Therefore, the greatest common factor would be 3 times 5 times 5, or 3 times 5 squared. The correct answer is D, 3 times 5 squared.